Have you ever been on a flight where you looked out the window during landing and couldn't see anything? Just clouds, just fog, no runway, no airport, nothing. Then suddenly, a few moments later, the aircraft touches down safely. Every time this happens, most passengers have the same question. How did we just land if nobody could see the runway? As someone who works in aviation, technology, and communications, I can tell you there is a fascinating story behind that landing. And today we are going to explore it. Hi guys, welcome to the Hidden World of Aviation. If you're new here, my name is Claire Chepwich. I work in aviation as an aeronautical telecommunication officer. And this series I've been sharing the other side of aviation where most passengers never get to see, not from the cabin, nor from the cockpit, but from behind the scenes. In this series, I'm taking you behind the scenes of the aviation industry to show you the systems, technology, and people that keep aircraft moving safely every day. In episode 1, we looked at how aircraft are tracked. And in episode 2, we explored how pilots communicate across oceans where there are no cell towers. And today we are answering one of the most common questions passengers ask. How do planes land safely when visibility is extremely poor? Okay, let's get into it. Let's start with something that you can relate to. Imagine driving a car on a road covered in thick fog. You slow down, you become more cautious. You focus harder. Why? Because visibility is reduced. The less you can see, the harder it becomes to make decisions. Now imagine you're not driving a car. Imagine you're flying an aircraft carrying hundreds of people or passengers, moving much faster, approaching an airport, and visibility suddenly becomes very poor. That's a challenge aviation has been solving for decades. Most people assume pilots simply look out of the window and land, but modern aviation is much more sophisticated than that. In fact, some of the most common information during a low visibility approach isn't coming from outside the aircraft at all. It's coming from systems specifically designed to help pilots navigate safely. One of the key systems used during low visibility operations is called the Instrument Landing System, commonly known as ILS. Now don't worry about the technical name. Let's keep it simple. Think of ILS as a guide. A very precise guide. Its purpose is to help aircraft align correctly with the runway during landing. Instead of relying only on what pilots can see outside, the system provides information that helps guide the aircraft toward the runway. I like to compare it to using navigation on your phone. When you're driving somewhere unfamiliar, your GPS helps keep you on the correct route, right? ILS performs a similar role during an approach. Of course, it's much more sophisticated than a phone navigation app, but the basic idea is similar. The goal is to help aircraft stay aligned and approach safely, and this becomes incredibly valuable when visibility is poor. Because when the runway isn't immediately visible, pilots still need reliable information to help them continue the approach safely. One thing I always tell people is this: aviation safety is never built around a single system. Not one computer, not one piece of equipment, not one person. It's built in layers. Technology is one layer, procedures are another, training is another, communication is another, human oversight is another. All these layers work together. That's one of the reasons aviation remains one of the safest forms of transportation in the world. There is never a mindset of we have one solution. Instead, aviation constantly asks, what happens if this fails? What backup do we have? What additional protection exists? That layered approach is one of the things I admire most about this industry. From the passenger's perspective, a low visibility landing can feel almost magical. You are looking outside, you see nothing but clouds, nothing but fog. You might even wonder if the aircraft is anywhere near the airport. Then suddenly, the runway appears, and within moments you are landing. And what most passengers don't realize is that long before they see the runway, there has already been a lot happening behind the scenes. There's technology, procedures, communication, training, planning, all working together. And that's really the theme of this entire series. There's an invisible world operating behind every flight. A world most passengers never see, but one that plays an important role every single day. One of the reasons I enjoy working in aviation is because there's always something fascinating happening behind the scenes. The public often sees the aircraft, the pilots, the airport terminal. But beneath all of that are systems, technology, and teams working together every day. And honestly, when everything works perfectly, most passengers never even notice. That's actually the goal. A safe, smooth flight should feel ordinary. But behind that ordinary experience is an extraordinary amount of planning and coordination. The more I've learned about aviation, the more I've appreciated just how much effort goes into making every flight as safe as possible. That's why I enjoy sharing these stories with you. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for tuning into this episode. If you've not subscribed, ensure to subscribe, like, comment, and share with your friends and loved ones. Don't forget to turn on that notification bell. See you in our next episode. Bye-bye. Now, I'd love to hear from you. Have you ever landed in thick fog? What was going through your mind at that moment? Were you nervous, excited, or maybe you didn't even notice? Let me know in the comments section below. And just so you know, I read every comment, and many of your questions actually inspire future episodes.